So two rhetorical questions that kind of like, I don't know, psychologically helped me with like the concept of generalization. One is, should gay men have been allowed to donate blood in the 1980s? Um, And another one was, like, I don't know if anyone's heard the term, like, Sunrise Town. Basically, that was, like, a term that African Americans gave, like, certain white towns where it was, like, dangerous to be black in past sundown during, like, Jim Crow racism in the South. Another is, like, is it okay for African Americans to generalize certain towns as sundown towns? And that just, like, psychologically helped me with, like, I'm sorry, I think it's on topic because it's, like, I'm talking about the whole concept of, like, generalization and, like, just, is it ethically okay to make generalizations? Like, just those are 2 examples that psychologically helped me as someone very far left. Um, but yeah, so and with immigration a little bit more close on topic, but I don't think a geography should be like 100% of like, the end all be all factor. It's definitely important, but like, you know, like I'll give like, 2 examples. Like the standard example is like obviously Jews when Israel, like, if the UK Jews need to flee the UK, obviously like the country that should be first to step up should be and take the Jews from the UK should be Israel. Um, and like another example would be like, let's say, Christians who want to flee Pakistan. Like the Christian immigrants, to my knowledge, in fleeing Pakistan who've made it to the UK haven't like caused trouble for the UK. And like the UK is the one who introduced Christianity to the Indian subcontinent. So like maybe like, UK should be a little bit more generous with like taking Christian like asylum seekers for Pakistan if it's dangerous for them.
Okay.
Can I get a rebuttal to that? Yeah.
Tom, you have 1 minute. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks. So Samantha, what I was saying wasn't that you should seek asylum in the closest country from where you're living in. What I said was that you should seek asylum from the closest country that you are actually safe inside. So I guess that what you said doesn't contradict it.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so we had Samantha. Now we have Mossad, then Karen and Armin.
Thanks. It's a long time since the person I'm responding to said something, but I think Hila said what happened to people. She said the thing is experience in England or Scotland. I'm not sure, but I think what happened is that they've seen their towns completely transformed. Places that were English or Scottish are now Pakistani or Bangladeshi completely. So they become a minority, and people move away, and more immigration comes, and the culture changes. There's, to Andre's point, of course, culture changes. You can even see that the influx of people in America is changing its politics and making it less pro-Israel. Immigration brings culture with it. So if you have large numbers, you're going to get more of that mix. It's really simple. If you put salt in your food, the more you put, the saltier it gets. Now, I don't know why people concentrate so much on asylum. Like, if you look at stats for the UK, where this whole issue is very much, on the news or whatever, and then 100K asylum seekers. I don't know what percentage of them would be allowed to stay in the UK, but 1 million immigrants, legal immigrants. So the asylum thing is not the real issue. The legal immigrants are the people who are coming to work or family reunions or whatever they are. I mean, I don't know, but that's what it would be. And people fed up. That's why you're getting more and more people. And they're also seeing that all the companies are actually favoring these people over them when they're hiring or when they're promoting. So they don't like it. And so that way you're going to get far right. That way you're going to get fascists. I mean, it's, and they still keep arguing about, oh, it's not all of them. And it's not about that. It's the whole vibe of a nation changes to accommodate this. And you can see all these countries suddenly recognizing Palestine. And that's part of what's going on. So, I mean, Israel and Jews around the world should be the first to be, against it because you can see what it does. You're bringing people when you got 95 to 99% anti-Semitic and not very friendly to Christians either, to all these
Final point.
countries, and I see Jews. Some Jews are like, "Oh, you should be. There's nothing wrong with immigration." Yeah. Well, who killed the people on Bondi Beach, or who killed the people in this synagogue in UK, wherever it was, I forget, and so on and so on. Thanks.
Sure. Cat lady with a rebuttal. 1 minute. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I think it will be shorter. I want to say that the reason that people concentrate on asylum seekers is because when trying to have a legitimate conversation about something, people like to show like the most extreme example. I think it's called red herring, and they say, "Oh, but people will die, children will die." It's like it's not about that.
Okay. So, what is your rebuttal then? What? It's not about what he said. What's it about then?
No, it wasn't a rebuttal. It was an answer. He said he didn't
Ah.
understand it.
Um. Armin.
Oh, okay. So, um, I think that what we are missing in this conversation, like, well, not us, but a lot of people are missing in this conversation, is that they're asking about what's fair, right? They're thinking about what's fair to these people, what's fair to those people. It doesn't matter what's fair if you lose your civilization. And I think that the mindset needs to shift from people asking about what's fair to how do we survive this, right? And I mean, the fact that you think we have the luxury of thinking about fairness shows how um, unalarmed people are about what's happening. Okay, so I think if people think about these conversations as our fight for survival, then they wouldn't be wasting so much time over fairness. So this is something that gets me like, oh, but it's we should allow these people because it's not fair for them, or like these people did this to them, so now in return we should do that for them. You don't get to do any of these things if you lose your nation state, right? And I think if you want to take care of people, then at some point, first of all, I think it's absolutely insane to allow anybody from Islamic countries into your country, and I say that as somebody who came from a country that is Islamic, right? Came from Iran. I think like if you think about your survival, even there are people who are deserving to come to your country, you have to take care of yourself first before you take care of other people. They always tell you in a plane that you put your mask on first before you put it on the child next to you. Because if something happens to you, then you're not going to be around to take care of the kid. If your ideal is for us to be in a position where we could even help deserving people from Islamic countries, then you need to become very powerful and you need to become very, very rich because this is complicated. And importing shitty ideas is going to make you poor and it's going to make you weak. So, if you want an asylum process at some point that you could process people from even the shadiest places in the world and still find the good people from there who are deserving to be protected and allow them in. Because even right now, even rich countries don't get the same don't are not able to get that right. So it must mean that this is very hard and very complicated. So if you want to get to a place where you could actually do that, it means that you need to become a powerful, rich country that gets to do that. And you don't get to do that with shitty ideas and with people that have values that doesn't match your country's values, right? You need to make sure you maintain what you have to be able to eventually do that for some people. And then when people keep saying that, oh, it means like you don't care about other
Final
people, or
point,
you're
30 seconds.
generalizing. Final point: anybody who keeps saying that we're generalizing, the fact that we're saying that the asylum seeking process is taking advantage of is the acknowledgement that some people deserve it, and the people who are taking advantage of it are not letting people who deserve it to use it. So it's not a generalization.